I mean, I might as well not make anything else anymore ever again because I've peaked. Today, we're going back over 20 years to relive what it was like to record music and videos at home in the early 2000s.
We're going to use this obsolete software to create a song and a music video.
And the challenge will be to do that using only equipment you would have had access to over 20 years ago. If you were making music in 2003, here's what your setup might have looked like. A clunky PC with a 20 gigabyte hard drive, fans loud enough to drown out your vocals, a bulky CRT monitor taking up half your desk, and a mic plugged into the line-in jack on your sound card. The software we'll be using to create our song and video is Magix Music and Video Maker 6.0. This was the first program I used after Sound Recorder to make my own songs, and somehow I managed to still have the original disc. Oh, we have music! How obnoxious is that while you're trying to install it? Let's watch the tutorial video. It opened up in Windows Media Player.
Magix Music Maker Generation 6.
Magix came with sample projects to get you started. So let's go ahead and open up our first sample project. Let's try another one. This is a video effects demo. It looks like her teeth go missing, this poor girl. Let's go to the synth demos. But these projects were great for dissecting how everything worked. Let's test out some of these audio effects. I'm just gonna do a quick sample recording. This is a sample audio test. This is a sample audio test. There was some pitch shifting.
This is a sample
audio test.
Let's do tempo. This is a sample audio test. And even a vocoder.
This is a sample audio test.
Which was very interesting. There were different settings for the vocoder, like blubber. Let's try blubber. Couldn't even hear what I was saying. And it also included some more video clips that you could use of these amazing dancers. And then you had your sampler, which had your virtual instruments, like this incredibly accurate piano. And one of my favorites was the ambient synth, which you could use to make backdrops like rain and thunder, traffic, or farmyard. Who was using farmyard in their songs? The heart of Magix Music Maker was its sound pools, which contained just tons and tons of loops that you could use to compose your own songs. So I figured it would be really fun to load up one of these old sound pool CDs and try to make a song of sorts, just like I would have in 2003, using this line-in mic and hopes and dreams. So here is the nu metal collection of loops. We're gonna go through and listen to some of them, and then we will see what we can come up with. Oh boy. Do they steal all of these from a Korn library? Let's start composing. That sounds like what we need to be doing right now. I like that as an opener. Let's start that off. And then we'll do this here. At this point, I'm just going through some of the samples and choosing what I like and beginning to assemble it. One thing that's nice is that each different loop is provided in 7 different chord options, numbered 1 through 7, all at the same BPM, so that you can stack different loops together and they'll match and work well most of the time. The vocals were always really fun to play around with.
God, I am evil, I am inside of you. I know why.
We'll just do this. It's fine. I'm overthinking this. I'll use that as a chorus. I tried to be as decisive as possible, and the total process of picking out the loops and creating the structure of this song took about 20-25 minutes. Oh, nice. I can add like a little scratch thing. Perfect. Okay, now I think I'm ready for some lyrics and a melody. What should I write? What should it be about? We'll do it about time and the passage of time. I gave myself a time limit of 10 minutes to finish these lyrics because I have a habit of overthinking. This will only exist within the confines of this video, so I really need to stop overthinking it. I actually surprised myself because I made the 10-minute deadline with a few minutes to spare. Okay, it took me a few minutes, but I wrote out some lyrics in WordPad, and now we're gonna record them to a melody that I haven't decided on yet. So what could go wrong? because of the latency issues, I kind of have to mess around with it until I find where it needs to be. Let's add some reverb. I haven't saved it. That could have been a disaster. Let's add some harmonies to the chorus. It seemed incomplete without adding my own instrument, so that's what I'm going to do. It sounds so bad, you guys. Okay, so now the acoustic guitar is in the mix. It's pretty low in the mix. It's just there to add a little bit extra so that it's not just the vocals and the loops. You have to see this. This is hilarious. So when you click on a clip and you add some effects, you can choose to bake those effects into the file, which will help the program run smoother instead of trying to process all the effects in real time. And when you click apply, look at what it says. This function applies all active audio effects destructive to the object's physical material. Proceed? Yes, apply. No, oh my God. To finish it up, I just took a few minutes to level the tracks a bit, and then I added reverb to the vocals and soft compression on the final mix. Okay, we're done with the song. Now it's time to make the video. But I also need to change my shirt into something more appropriate for 2003. Okay, this is actually a shirt that I owned in 2003, so I know this is accurate. Now I'm gonna go set everything up, gonna put this on a tripod, pop up my green screen, film a video, bring it on the computer. It's gonna look terrible, and I'm so excited. Let's go. I set up my green screen and vintage video camera and filmed singing along as dramatically as possible. Here's what it looked like straight out of camera. I feel like I want to channel angsty, like you're in turmoil. I kick and scream all the way. I really can't take any of this seriously with Paul Frank staring at the camera. As I'm passing through time. Sometimes I think that half of trying to be creative is shoving any bit of embarrassment that you ever might feel way so deep down in a little spot inside of your body that you can never have access to. And if you're wondering if me using the green screen is time period accurate, here are a few videos that I made in the early 2000s using green fabric or green paper to create a rudimentary green screen. So because of this, I'm allowing the use of my screen. Okay, now that we have the footage recorded, I am going to rewind the tape and import the footage onto my computer. I'm using Pinnacle Studio to import the footage and do the very basic edits, so nothing fancy here, just a rough cut, because I want to do all the effects and finish work directly in Magix. So once the rough cut was finished, I exported it as an AVI file and then brought it into Magix where I could begin turning it into its final form. What do you feel? I feel like this is where we have to start it with the singing. So let's click green box. Oh yeah. There's a way. Now I'm choosing which stock footage to include in the video as backgrounds. I'm only using clips that came with Magix Music and Video Maker, as well as incorporating as many of the video effects that the program offered. Should I add in some dancers? Yeah, I think she should dance for me. Inside the darkness. There's some weird effects on here. This one's called Jungle. That looks like a cornfield. Well, I guess it says jungle. That's a cornfield. Okay, this is taking way too much time, but the last thing that I'm going to do before I am done with this video is I'm going to add some lyrics. I'm going to make it a lyric video. I don't know about you, but nothing says early 2000s homemade music video as some well-placed animated text scrolling across the screen. And once I was finished with that, it was time to export the finished video. I think the video is done. I did all of the finishing work in Magix Music and Video Maker 6.0, including all of the video effects and chroma keying. All right, let's watch it. It withers away, makes me want to stay a while inside the darkness. Safe, I need to be safe, away from the air. As I'm passing through time. Okay, let me know in the comments what you think, because I think that was absolutely majestic. I mean, I might as well not make anything else anymore ever again because I've peaked.
Fun fact, this was actually the second version of a song that I made with loops. The first one, I decided that it was so bad it should never see the light of day. Unless, of course, you are a patron. Over there, you can experience the secondhand embarrassment in all of its glory.
Can we just pretend that that didn't happen? The thing about software like this in the early 2000s is that it wasn't about perfection, it was about possibilities. Sure, the software might have been clunky and the hardware was a bit frustrating, but there was something really special about overcoming those limitations in the spirit of creativity.
Thank you again to all of my amazing patrons. These are all legends who rock harder than my old Soundpool CDs. Which maybe wasn't the best comparison.
And with that being said, I would like to thank you for watching yet another episode of Crazy Hark's Amazing Emporium of total retro madness. And sometimes other things too.
It takes me down. I kick and scream.